Adam here, coming to you from my basement, from the fireplace that I've yet to use once because I'm afraid of carbon monoxide poisoning. I have not cleaned it out yet. So anyway, we've been in the house for over a year. Haven't used the fireplace yet. There you go. I do have some really cool limestone carvings that my oldest daughter, did a couple years ago at Benford Rogers School. You see, one says hope, which I think is a great message right now, and the other one says De Weber, which is my last name. Don't know if you knew that, but now you do. I'm going to sing a few songs. The other day we had a little bit of a technical difficulty situation on Monday with Marietta, and it looked like, to me, there was a slight possibility I was going to have to just jump in and take care of it, take care of the live stream, because there was some craziness, and she was able to come in at the last second. We were able to get it done and get live for y'all. But when I was panicking a little bit, I pulled up a bunch of lyrics to some old hymns and gospel songs that I really like, and so those songs have been in my head for the last 48 hours. So I'm just gonna do those songs. I'm gonna do a handful of hymns and gospel songs, and sing along if you know them. Here we go. Blessed assurance, Jesus is mine. Oh, what a foretaste of glory divine. Heir of salvation, purchase of God, born of His Spirit, washed in His blood. This is my story, this is my song, praising my Savior all the day long. This is my story, this is my song, praising my Savior all the day long. Perfect submission, perfect delight, visions of rapture now burst on my sight. Angels descending, looking above, echoes of mercy, whispers of love. This is my story, this is my song, praising my Savior all the day long. This is my story, this is my song, praising my Savior all the day long. Perfect submission, all is at rest. I in my Savior am happy and blessed, watching and waiting, looking above, filled with His goodness, lost in His love. This is my story, this is my song, praising my Savior all the day long. This is my story, this is my song, praising my Savior all the day long. Praising my Savior all the day long. Praising my Savior all the day long. is greater far than tongue or pen could ever tell. It goes beyond the highest star and reaches to the lowest hell. The guilty pair bowed down with care. God gave his son to win his erring child. He reconciled and pardoned from his sin. Oh, love of God, how rich and pure, how measureless and strong. It shall forevermore endure, the saints and angels' song. When years of time shall pass away, and earthly thrones and kingdoms fall, when men who hear refuse to pray, on rocks and hills and mountains call, God's love so sure shall still endure, all measureless and strong, redeeming grace to Adam's race, the saints and angels' song. Could we think the ocean fill, and were the skies of parchment made, were every stalk on earth a quill, and every man a scribe by trade, to write the love of God above, would drain the ocean dry, nor could the scroll contain the whole, though stretched from sky to sky. Oh, love of God, how rich and pure, how measureless and strong. It shall forevermore endure, the saints and angels' song. Oh, love of God, how rich and pure, how measureless and strong. It shall forevermore endure, the saints and angels' song. Rock of ages, cleft for me, let me hide myself in thee. Let the water and the blood from thy wounded sideways flow. Be of sin a double cure, save from wrath and make me pure. Not the labors of my hand can fulfill thy law's demands. Could my zeal no respite know? Could my tears forever flow? All for sin could not atone. Thou must save, and thou alone. Nothing in my hands I bring, simply to thy cross I cling. Naked come to thee for dress, helpless look While I to thy fountain fly, wash me, Savior, or I die. While I draw this fleeting breath, when my eyes shall close in death, when I soar to worlds unknown, see thee on thy judgment throne, rock of ages, cleft for me, let me hide myself in thee, let me hide myself, let me hide myself, let me hide myself in thee, let me hide myself, let me hide myself, let me hide myself in thee. That's good. I love verse 2 especially. It says, not the labors of my hands can fulfill thy law's demands. Could my zeal no respite know? In other words, if I could really be like on all the time. On fire for God I am. All for sin could not atone. Thou must save, and thou alone. God's the only one. It's only by his grace. It's not by anything I do. So the things I do are in response to the gift of life that he's given me, but they're not what saves me, no matter what. It's not it. It's only by God's grace, the gift of God's grace. So good. I'm going to share just a couple things with you. First off, I'm curious to know if any of y'all have been doing anything interesting or fun or challenging that you could have been doing all along, and maybe saving money, or maybe saving some time, or maybe doing yourself, but you have not been because you didn't have to, but now you are, because that's the only way it's going to get done. I'll get to the point. This is what I've been up to. You can see. I don't know if you follow me on Instagram and or Facebook. Then a couple weeks ago, you saw that I cut my oldest daughter's hair. And it was a little bit of an adventure, and I wasn't sure how it was going to turn out, but it turned out okay. Pretty good. She liked it, and if she didn't, then who cares, because, it's going to grow up before we see everybody again. But then my other two daughters wanted their haircut too, so here is a couple, kind of awkward. I'm kind of awkwardly peeking through here. But anyway, you can see on... one side there's Adeline, she's my littlest, and I'm cutting her hair, and then on the other side is Amelia, my middle, and she's getting her hair cut. And I've got that like ninja pose there. I'm really chopping, really going for it. But anyway, okay, and then here are the after results. Hey, look at those girls. Now Amelia's bangs, the rainbow cheek girl, I did not cut those. She did that a couple months ago, and they've been growing out slowly ever since. But anyway, that's what we've been up to here at the D. Weber homestead. I've spoken to some of my friends and some of the volunteers from my teams I lead at church, and they're all coping in different ways, and doing their best to, keep going and persevere and stay sane. But it's really easy sometimes to feel especially lonely, or especially despairing when you're used to one thing. You're used to a routine. You're used to a certain number of live interactions a day. You're used to being able to just use all the milk in your coffee you want, because you don't have to worry about like running to the store real quick and getting germs or whatever, and now all of a sudden you're rationing it or whatever. It's easy to think that we are all alone. That's the thing. But yesterday, I think it was, or a couple days ago, there was a post on our church, on ECC Bloomington social media, and it was really, it was one of those little videos that shows a list of different things, and go back and look at it. It looks really neat, but the content of it was especially encouraging, in my opinion. So it says, Jesus wept, John 11:35. Jesus experienced hunger, Matthew 4:2. Jesus bled, John 19:34. Jesus got tired, John 4:6. Jesus needed to sleep, Matthew 8:24. Jesus felt angry, John 2:15 and 16. Jesus felt troubled, John 12:27. Jesus prayed, Hebrews 5:7. Jesus was tempted, Matthew 4:1. And then this, in the video, this like little floating purple box floats up, and then on the box it says, "You are never alone in your pain or weakness. Jesus knows." You are never alone in your pain or weakness. Jesus knows. Perfect in our lives. And so in these moments when we feel weak, alone, abandoned, frustrated, etc., let's cling to the promises that we've received that say that God will never leave us nor forsake us. And that Jesus knows what we're going through, and he cares. I'm going to sing this song. It's one of my daughter's favorite songs, my oldest daughter. Hopefully I don't mess it up, or I won't be allowed to sing songs, and she won't let me pick songs anymore. But it's a great song. It's newer. If you don't know it, don't worry. Just listen and be encouraged by the message that God knows, even when it feels like nobody else knows. Wide awake while the world is sound asleep, and too afraid of what might show up while you're dreaming. Nobody sees you. Nobody will believe you. Every day you try to pick up all the pieces, all the memories, they somehow never leave you. Nobody sees you. Nobody will believe you. God only knows what you've been through. God only knows what to say about you. God only knows how it's killing you. But there's a kind of love that God only knows. God only knows what you've been through. God only knows what to say about you. God only knows the real you. But there's a kind of love that God only knows. There's a kind of love that, there's a kind of love that God only knows. There's a kind of love that, there's a kind of love. Keep a cover over every single secret. So afraid someone saw you and they'd leave you. But somebody. Let me do that again. I don't want you to miss these words. Sorry. You keep a cover over every single secret. So afraid if someone saw them they would leave you. But somebody sees you. Somebody will never leave you. And God only knows what you've been through. God only knows what to say about you. God only knows how it's killing you. But there's a kind of love that God only knows. God only knows what you've been through. God only knows what to say about you. God only knows the real you. There's a kind of love that God only knows. For the lonely, for the ashamed, the the misunderstood, and the ones to blame. Or if we can start over, we can start over, we can start over. For the lonely, for the ashamed, the misunderstood, and the ones to blame. What if we could start over, we can start over, we can start over. There's a kind of love that God only knows. God only knows where to find you. God only knows how to break through. God only knows the real you. There's a kind of love that God only knows. God only knows where to find you. God only knows how to break through. God only knows the real you. There's a kind of love that God only knows. He is here. Hallelujah. He is here. Amen. He is here. Holy, holy. I will bless his name again. He is here. Listen closely. Hear him calling out your name. He is here. You can touch him. You will never be the same. He is here. You can touch him. You will never be the same. He's here. He's with you. He knows how you feel, and he loves you, and he cares. Have a great Wednesday. See you next week.